screen TVs,
Oh, cool.
kitchen. Yeah, you know, it's a big whole kitchen, like, whatever the chef show called.
Like chopped or
Yeah, one of those.
it's champion.
Who wants to be a chef in there?
Yeah.
Not only truck, but I got notified that the other guy who used to work mornings, who's been out on medical, isn't coming back. So it's just me. Well, not taking my house, but since he's doing, you know, if like, look, it takes 4 hours, it's on 2, goes through 2. Well, okay, I've been here for 2 hours, now I can go home. So that's not really. But it's nice that every time, plenty more stuff to do. Like, not too black and gold. That's some deal.
We got there, we had no idea what those are. These schedules, so all she's doing is putting up the rules and the flag out. But we couldn't find that. So here we got this frame. Well, we're like, that whole room set off. We're like, we don't want to move anything, so maybe they had a table, like registration table on the water. Maybe we put it behind it. Who are you? I'm like, who are you? She didn't have much name. Okay. Put it in here. No problem.
Do that.
And she's like,
Here we go. Who are you? This seems so weird to be getting on the train in the dark. It's not been a gradual shift. It was.
It'll be the last season we do it though.
you know what? I didn't remember to remind you about the handcuffs. Do you remember?
I don't know.
No, it's okay. Not a big fan.
You'll get them eventually.
I like your little store too. It's very happy.
It is.
See if they stop on time, John.
Hopefully they take us home.
So you have a 314.
Hey dude, look at that! A new locomotive today! Yeah, I know, right dude? It's just, at first I thought it was gonna be 578 as usual, but no. It turned out that it was gonna be a different locomotive this time, which is 594. Yeah, I know, right? Let's look at a different locomotive. Yeah man, let's get to it! Here we are. The lead that takes us all the way over there to the north side until they reach to the Caloosahatchee River drawbridge. You mean to Punta Gorda? No. Well, what do you mean no? The Caloosahatchee River drawbridge collapsed, remember? Oh yeah! Curse you, Hurricane Ian, for this. Yeah, I know. I don't know why on earth Hurricane Ian would do such a thing. Yeah, I know. But hey, at least the dinner train's back in service. Yeah. It feels so good to be back after a year of not being here. But I was just the only one that had to take over doing this video for part 1, part 2, where it gets ready to go on a 3 or 4 hour long trip to from Fort Myers to Punta Gorda and then come back here, because that's what exactly I did last time. Oh, well, I wasn't there at that time, so glad I'm joining with you. Are we going to do this at nighttime as well? Yup. Later. What do you mean later? I mean later, okay? We're going to come back in about a few hours, and we're going to do our job, okay? Really? Yes! Okay, jeez, you don't need to yell in my face. And be careful how you speak to me. Sorry. Just look at the lights. Just look at them. Can't you tell how beautiful they are? Yeah, duh. It feels like those red lights should be popping up because it's nighttime right now, and this is what reminds me. Without those lights on, but the red lights like these, for example, but not our lights, their lights. See those ones that are off? Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, those red lights are only on like when this train comes back to the station after like a long hour trip from here to Punta Gorda. Apparently it will be from Fort Myers to Caloosahatchee River drawbridge. Yeah. Alright, my friend, let's go back to the platform where we were when it pulled to the station. Catch it, leave. Okay. Now let's watch the train go over there. Yeah, I definitely agree. Oops. Did you literally have to freaking activate that? No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Put that back up right now. Okay, I'm trying. There we go. Yeah. That's what I expect. Yeah, I can see that right over there. Me too. Wait for it. Wait for it. And there it goes. I hear the horn. Wow. That's crazy. Really amazing for real. Stupid guy. Stop arguing. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I agree. Oh, guess what? The gates are going back up. I can tell. Oh, yeah. I see too. And the lights went back off. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, I can definitely tell. Remember, we're going to come back later to let you know. Why? I don't want to hear that horn. Which locomotive? The one that's showing the orange light at us? Facing south to us? Oh, I see. Too bad, you're going to deal with it, and that's final. No, I'm not going to deal with it. You deal with it, and that's final, okay? Or else you won't be invited to my job anymore. I would love to because I do not want to hear your stupid voice all day. Oh man, what the heck is wrong with you? You are gonna deal with it with that horn, and that's fine. No, I'm not. Too bad. Definitely not. That train light is almost gone. Yeah, I can tell. Oh, dude, it's almost gone. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can definitely see it. Yeah, barely gone, heading to the next crossing. Yeah, I see too. Guess what? It's gone. It's gone. Shut up. You're gonna have everyone hear our voices, and it's gonna be quite embarrassing. Well, a job well done. Looks like our work here is done for now, but we're gonna have to come back in the next few hours. Remember that. So come on, let's go to the car and go home and come back in the next few hours. Oh, okay. Well, at least we get a few hours off, though. Oh, yes. Finally, we're done for now. Until tonight. Which apparently this will suck. Shut up, dude.